My favorite sound in the natural world is the one I haven't heard yet. Every time I go outside, I feel like a student of this planet, and I just love learning more about the natural world every day. When I was doing my PhD research in Indonesia, I had this 10-month Fulbright Hays fellowship to live in the city of Yogyakarta, which is at the epicenter of the old Javanese kingdoms. It's the only remaining royal city in all of Indonesia. It has its own sultan, who's also the governor. It's an oasis of Javanese culture and values. And tied up in that culture is this long-standing tradition, centuries old, of keeping caged birds. And the thing I study mostly, singing contests, where they pit birds against each other in these arenas where they sing for prizes, is a modern evolution of that bird keeping tradition. And as I got deeper into why people keep birds, I came across this Javanese ethos that's made popular in a novel called This Earth for All Mankind. And if I get the title wrong, we can edit it out. But in this novel by Pak Pramtor from 1984, and it talks about the ingredients that make up a Javanese man. And there are 5. A house, a wife, a kris, which is like a ceremonial dagger or an amulet, a horse, or nowadays a car, and a bird. And the bird shows that a man is in touch with his sensitive side, and that he can afford to indulge in leisure as well as work. So it's definitely a flex, but it's this status symbol. And it's about us. Again, we're appropriating nature to say something about ourselves, which I find frustrating in its own way. But whether I agree with this or not, there are millions of people across the world who carry out this value in their daily practice every day. So we have to, again, as an ethno-ornithologist, I have to reconcile my own disagreements with that and make space for this new point of view, because at the end of the day, we all love birds. And if we can plant the seeds of conservation and common ground and start from that place, we have a better shot at actually protecting the birds that give us so much joy in our lives. Greed is a stress response, and we encounter our own mortality as this ticking clock where we have to make as much as possible, get our names on as many buildings as possible, and instead of doing that, we can take this time to really celebrate the opportunity to be alive. Isn't that a wonderful thing? All these feelings that come to us remind us, oh, right, I'm here. I get a shot. It's not about proving anything. It's about finding some sort of community. And for me, just being out here, sitting on a log, touching a tree, like, these things are alive. There are other things that are alive inside them, and I'm sharing space. What a gift. I'm neurodiverse, and I think differently than most people. And for a long time, I felt quite self-conscious about that. Growing up in a hyper-competitive academic environment, I didn't think I was good enough to be a scientist. My life experience has shown that that's very much not true. I'm very proud to have received my PhD at the Cornell Lab of Ornithology, no less. But, there are so many doorways into this world of conservation that seem like they're closed. And I know lots of people through my music, through my art and outreach, who don't think they're qualified to be in this space. But the future of the planet concerns everyone. And if we don't open those doors, we're doing a disservice to our future. So I try to tell stories and make media to throw those doors open and say, you're welcome here, and we need you. I always like to lead with hope, because that's a much more powerful motivator than these feelings of doom and gloom. I think my students definitely give me hope, just seeing how much potential and power they have when we turn the reins over to them. Again, using that co-creative and participatory process, making sure that they're part of our success, and they can take these lessons and tools with them into whatever career path they may choose. That's really inspiring, because it shows us the power of diversity and new ways of thinking. And if we want to successfully pass the torch to the next generation, we need to pay attention to what they need and how they feel and think.